What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV back here for another episode of Player Ratings as we beat Brighton 2-0 at the Amex last night in a result that's put us back in the top four conversation with Arsenal losing to Liverpool yesterday at the Emirates. And let's get straight into the player ratings. And let's start off with Hugo Lloris, sixes all round from us. And to be honest, they didn't have a shot on target. He was not tested at all, and I can't really remember any actions from him yesterday.
Yeah, he didn't have to do anything, really. The only thing I can say is his passing was pretty decent. He was put under pressure. You always have those heart-and-mouth moments when he's put under pressure, but he dealt with them easily. Didn't even have to come from any crosses or anything like that. It was just a simple day for Lloris. Didn't have much to do, so that's all there is to it, really, when it comes to Hugo.
Yeah. Up next, we got Ben Davies. Sim gives him a 7. I gave him an 8, and I thought it was really solid performance from Ben Davies yesterday. Really important last gasp challenge that stopped the Brighton attack, and I thought he was just really commanding pretty much throughout the whole game with his defensive displays on point yesterday.
Yeah, I think he could have done a bit better a couple of times to link up with Reggie, get the ball a bit quicker. Sometimes I feel like he has space to run into and he doesn't have the confidence to drive into it, and he'll rather check back rather than do that. But I think defensively, pretty spot on. I think they're starting to really form a cohesive unit, that back three. And Davis, again, having another good game.
Yeah, let's move on to the right wing back, Matt Doherty. Sim gives him a 6. I gave him a 5. I mean, in my opinion, I thought defensively he did his job yesterday. I thought I have no problems with him defensively yesterday, but it was more going forward where I had the problem yesterday. I didn't think he contributed to the attack at all yesterday. I don't know if it was under instruction or that was just down to him, but there were a couple of times as well where he had the ball on that right-hand side on the flank, waiting to start an attack, and he just made some loose touches or some bad passes. So look, it wasn't a disastrous display. Like I said, I think think his defensive display was good, but I just had a problem with him going forward yesterday.
Yeah, wasn't his most influential like he has been in more recent games offensively. But I guess you'll get that on Matt Doherty. He's not going to make the difference every game, but defensively, I thought Cucurella was one of the more dangerous players, but I thought in the end he was dealt with pretty well. And Doxy unfortunately didn't really do much from an attacking point of view. But I think he maybe allowed a platform for other players to shine. So I think it was okay.
Let's move on to the right side of centre-back in Cuti Romero. 8s all round from us, and I thought it was a really strong display from Romero yesterday. Really aggressive at the back, going forward more times than at the back, to be honest. I mean, how many times was he that extra man in the attack yesterday? And obviously got the goal. Well taken. What a stunning goal it was from Cuti Romero yesterday now. But all jokes aside, he's just there. He's always there in the opposition box, making a nuisance of himself, and it came off for him yesterday where he got a lucky deflection from that Coulusewski shot. But I'm really liking the look of Cuti Romero, and obviously got his obligatory yellow card yesterday in the game as well. And I think his shithousery game is always on point.
Yeah, and I thought it was another very strong performance, and you just feel so confident with him in the back that you're able to build up and sort of passing moves, and you're able to sustain keep the ball in dangerous areas and play through the opposition press. And that's when we look our most dangerous, when a team comes onto us and we're able to play through that, and then all of a sudden there's all that space for us to play with. And Romero's a massive reason why recently we're seeing more and more of these passing moves come off for us. I think we didn't start the game well in that sense, but I think as the game grew on, we were very much composed, and Romero's brilliant at that. As he goes forward as well, it causes problems to the opposition. They don't know what to do, who picks him up and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of the time it leaves him either free or it leaves him opening up space for others, and that's what we saw yesterday. And obviously you got a bit of luck with the goal, but as I say, you make your own luck, and if he wasn't there, the luck doesn't come off, and he has to be there for it to happen. So fair play to him, and it was not the first time recently we've seen him get into the opposition area, is it?
Yeah, exactly. And, you cast your mind back to the Man United game. If he's not in the box there, I know he's offside, but if he's not there making a nuisance of himself, Maguire doesn't need to make that challenge and cause that own goal. So,
and he sets up the move as well.
Yeah, exactly. And like you say, you create your own luck. And in my opinion, the way Romero is, the role he's got in this team, it reminds me very much of maybe in the first half of the season how Rudiger was for Chelsea.
Yeah.
So it seems like a very similar role to me. But let's move on to Eric Dyer. The last of the centre-backs we're going to be rating is 8 all round from Dyer. Obviously was in the wars at the beginning of the game with blood pouring from his head, got that bandage on, very Terry Butcher-esque, and I think he performed like it as well. Everything that came over the top, he was first to get his head to. He was defensively on point and spraying his passes, maybe not as well as he has done in the past, but still pretty well in my opinion, and I think another strong display from Eric Dyer.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with Dyer. I think he dealt with Maupay easily. Maupay was very, very quiet. And I think he held the back line together very effectively. And I think his passing was pretty decent. 2 out of 2 long passes completed. Obviously, it was a bit disappointing he didn't get the free kick, which Kane took off him, what there was a bit of anger about. But I think another good display from him. And I think he's unlucky to miss out on the England squad.
Yeah, definitely. Let's move on to Sergio Regulon. Sim gives him a 7. I gave him a 6. And I think with Regulon, he blew hot and cold yesterday, in my opinion. I mean, he was getting up and down that left-hand side really well. He was always an option there on that left-hand side. He got in behind twice right at the end with Harry Kane passes, but I feel like in the final third, he just needs to improve his decision making, and once that does improve, and he does start to provide a lot more goals and assists from that area of the pitch, I feel like we'll see a really, really good left back, and we won't look back. But until that happens, you're always going to have a few question marks over his appearances, and I think that's what happened yesterday. And I think that once he get into those positions, he panics instead of chilling out a bit, calming down a bit, and picking your spot. So I think he needs to improve his end product in the final third. But apart from that, I thought he was okay yesterday.
Yeah, I think he does still lack a bit of that composure in the final third. I think he has quality, but he doesn't have the composure to show it a lot of the time. I think he has a good crossing ability, ability to pick out passes. Shooting isn't that great, but that can be worked on. But the most important thing at the moment is he's being in that option on the left-hand side and getting into those really dangerous positions, and he's being a threat. And I think Regulon is probably the best fullback we have at doing that, at getting into those really dangerous areas and making and stretching defences and making them really think. I think that showed again yesterday. He did put in a lot of energy, and I thought he was up and down that left-hand side, and he looked tired near the end. But I thought he put in a great effort, and I thought it was a positive display for me from Reggie.
Yeah, all right. Let's move on to Rodrigo Bentancur. Sim gives him a whopping 9. I give him an 8. And yeah, I agree. He was the man of the match for me yesterday. Really good response for the poor display at Old Trafford. And I felt that, he grew into the game as the game wore on. First half, he was all right, making a nuisance of himself, turning defence into attack. I think he does that very well. He did get caught a few times in that first half, like we know that can happen to him. But in the second half, I thought he was head and shoulders above everyone on that pitch. I mean, he really knuckled down in that second half, aggressive, but at the same time, a really calming presence in that middle of the park as well. Obviously, he drove forward a number of times from the midfield, and one of them resulting in that Harry Kane goal with a lovely pass through the middle, cutting the Brighton defence open on a plate for Harry Kane, and he duly delivered. But Bentancur, if he puts those performances week in, week out, and I think he's providing a really good partnership now with Pierre-Emerick, and that's looking like our strongest partnership at the moment in the middle of the park.
Yeah, them two together look rock solid, and I think they work so hard both for each other, and they both have a bit of quality as well when they do get on the ball. That it's definitely helping us a lot, especially in transitions. They're very good at turning the ball over, and that's helping us massively when it's in the middle of the park. And I think Bentancur, you can see when he's confident, he oozes class and quality, and you saw that again yesterday. Some of his touches were absolutely sensational, touches over players, like chipping it over them, pirouettes in the centre, charging forward. Obviously a fantastic assist for the goal. Such a well-weighted and well-timed pass to get Kane through one-on-one, and obviously they get to the goal. And I think first half maybe need a lot of improvement, but second half I thought was absolutely sensational and fantastic. He drove us forward to victory, really. I felt Bentancur a lot of the time, and when he's at the hub of a lot of our passing moves, that's when I feel like he's at his best as well, when he's passing and moving, and that's when he's taking responsibility on himself. Sometimes I felt like at Old Trafford he would just pass it and just give the responsibility to other players and then move away. But yesterday I don't think he was doing that, and that was really positive.
And the passing that he has in his locker. We don't see it enough, in my opinion. I mean, we've seen it, a handful of times since he's come here, but with the qualities that he has, like he showed yesterday with that assist, and like he has shown a couple of times in the past, I mean, I want to be seeing this on a regular basis with Bentancur, because we know he's got it in him.
Yeah, he needs to be doing more through balls and stuff, because we saw that yesterday. We saw, I remember, against Wolves when he played Son through 1-on-1, but it doesn't do it enough. We need to see more of that.
Exactly. Let's move on to his partner, Pierre-Emerick Højbjerg. 8s all round from us, and I've been waxing lyrical about Højbjerg since he's come into the team after that shocker against Southampton, and I think he's been such a consistent performer, probably our most consistent performer since then. He's in the middle of the park, does a lot of work unnoticed in the battling Viking displays in the middle of the park, the complete midfield general, winning the ball back time and time again, and he's providing really good work for the team. And not only that, but the partnership, like I mentioned before, with Bentancur is striving. He also drives the team forward a bit as well in attacking moves, so I'm really loving what I'm seeing from Pierre at the moment.
Yeah, and I think it was another really strong display off the back of some really strong displays so far this season. And, I thought it was our best player at Old Trafford. And I think yesterday, again, maybe a bit of a quieter display, but he was driving us forward, winning the ball in the middle of the park, partnered with Bentancur. And a lot of our attacks were set up through Højbjerg, winning possession and being strong in the centre. And I think as well, Bissouma had to be taken off early because he just wasn't influencing the game. And I think Bentancur and Højbjerg did a job on him. And I think another really strong display. And I think the passing as well, very strong from Højbjerg. So I'm very happy because he's playing very well at the moment.
All right, let's move on to Hyung Min Son. 6s all round from us. Another hot and cold game from Hyung Min Son, in my opinion. I think that obviously he had his hand in the first goal with teeing up Coulusewski. Could have been an assist if Kulusevski's shot did find the net, but it did ricochet off Romero. But I think that he was working tirelessly for the team all day long, running non-stop pretty much. But it's just his quality on the ball which was a bit lacking. I just felt like he just missed his decisive edge yesterday, but not a bad display by any stretch of the imagination, just not a good display.
Yeah, worked hard again for the team, as he always does, Hyung Min Son. You have to give him praise for that, but wasn't quite on it in the final third. His didn't have too many shots on goal. I think his passing was pretty good, and I think he's always available when he's passing the ball to make a really incisive pick out. But unfortunately, just wasn't. I can't remember too many shots he had, or when he really was trying to make the difference, wasn't really there. So from that point of view, a bit disappointing. But there was also you got to think of as well when that goal goes in, the first one. There's 3 players surrounding Son, and that opens up space for likes of Kulusevski to get a shot off and whatever. So you got to take that into account as well, and that's why he's worth having on the pitch.
Yeah, completely agree. Let's move on to Dejan Coulusewski. Sim gives him an 8. I gave him a 7. And again, I thought it was a really good display from Dejan. He just gives the opposition countless amount of problems every time we play now. And I think Brighton didn't know how to deal with him at times. I thought his quick feet really give the opposition problems. He's always looking to create. Obviously, he got the assist for the first goal, which Romero didn't know much about. So it was all about Kulusevski and his effort that ricocheted off Romero. But oh bloody hell, I had a fly in my ear.
Right.
But time and time again, I felt that he was there on that right-hand side, just giving Brighton no ends of problems. And, like you said before, when Son has got 3 players on him, it leaves that bit of space for Kulusevski. And he duly delivers every time.
Yeah, and the more he does that, the more teams are going to think like they can't just commit all these defenders to the likes of Kane and Son, because Kulu's also able to make a difference, and he's starting to prove that. 2 goals and 4 assists now in 6 starts, which is really, really impressive. The assist may be a bit lucky, but again, he was the one who had the shot, and you make your own luck, as they say. And I think on the right-hand side, he's such a tricky customer. You think you have him, and then he'll just use a little burst of pace to come inside, use a bit of quick feet, and all of a sudden he's gone. And I think teams are starting to struggle to deal with that. Also, he's such a hard worker. He goes from 1-on-1. He shouldn't really be scoring, but it's all down to his hard work and putting pressure on defenders and causing mistakes.
So strong physically as well.
Yeah, he's able to hold people off and outmuscle other defenders. Really, really impressive. And he's only 21. He's only going to get better. and I'm just waiting for him to, that real left foot howitzer into a top corner, because it's coming. You can see he's getting shots off, and you can see he's got real quality in his shooting boots. So I'm just waiting for him to really explode it from that point of view. But he's really providing creatively for the team.
Yeah, I mean, you see him shaping up for that shot pretty much every game, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Literally every game. But when you compare him to like Lucas Moura, he's come in and done in such a short space of time what we've been asking Lucas to do pretty much his whole Spurs career on a consistent basis.
Pretty much so far, he's providing in the final third a good final third outputs, good decision making, and he's pretty much the opposite to what Lucas is really when he went in terms of what they offer in the final third.
All right, let's move on to the last but not least in the starting 11, which was Harry Kane. 8 all round from us. Didn't start the game as he would have liked, with obviously tackling the keeper and missing an open goal, really, Harry Kane, which you don't really associate him with those kind of finishes. But I felt like first half was fairly quiet from Harry Kane, but I think second half is where he really came to life. Obviously, he got played through from Bentancur, and really, really nice finish past the keeper there. And then I felt like as the game wore on, he just grew and grew in influence. Obviously, he was getting the ball in the middle of the park, spraying it through to Regulon a number of times, and giving Brighton no ends of problems. And at times, they couldn't really deal with him yesterday. And I thought it was another really strong display from Harry Kane.
Yeah, and as you say, first half was a bit difficult for him, but as he grew and as the game grew and the game opened up, he was making the difference time and time again. And obviously the goal taken so well, what a finish that was into the near post, and those 2 passes for Regulon. And in the second half, he was really starting to pick the lock, and he was starting to spray those balls around, and Brighton found it really, really difficult to deal with. And he was at the end of the day walking away with another goal, another brilliant display, and he's now on 12 goals. He's up to third in the goal scoring charts, and he's going from strength to strength.
Absolutely. We're not going to give a rating to any of the substitutes because they were only on for the last 10 minutes. But Antonio Conte, we're going to give him 8 all round. And easy does it for Antonio yesterday. I felt like he set the team up in a really good way, nullified anything Brighton had pretty much going forward. Tactics on point, players on point, and I think he's getting that bit of consistency with the playing staff on the pitch anyway. But now I just want to see this consistency in the results as well. We need to back this up now with a win on the weekend, get 2 wins on the bounce instead of this win-loss. But I feel like when I'm watching the team, I feel that they are getting stronger, and Antonio does allude to that in his press conferences, that we're ready to fight in every game. We are getting stronger, and I think we're seeing that on the pitch as well.
Yeah, we're improving. I think the defence, even though we conceded 3 against United, we are getting less leaky. 3 clean sheets in 4. Obviously, the goals are starting to flow. We've got 13 goals in the last 4 as well. So I think performances have been improving. We're getting more stable, as much as the results is win-loss. In the Premier League, it's 3 wins out of 4. So that's really important and really and very good. And hopefully that gives us a platform from now to the end of the season to find some consistency with results, and we start winning more games on a consecutive basis rather than just always reacting to losses all the time, which can get draining. But I think it's very positive. I think Conte went unchanged. He could have made a few changes, but decided to not, and it paid off. I think we had that consistency, and we had the energy was fairly high for most of the game as well. So very happy with that. Obviously the first goal was with a bit of luck, but after we got control of the game, we didn't look back, and that's the most important thing. So West Ham now on Sunday, massive game, and let's hope we take that momentum into that game.
Exactly. All right, so that is our player ratings for the game yesterday against Brighton. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought of our ratings, and let me know what your ratings are in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.